안녕하세요. Let's begin today's session. So today we'll learn new things in the first two columns, but overall we're just going to review a lot today.
Let's begin with the Korean phonics. Pause the video and fill out the blanks based on the corresponding sounds of each of the Korean consonants. 3, 2, 1. The consonants are 응,
응,
그,
그,
느,
느,
트,
트,
르,
르,
무,
마,
부,
부,
스,
스,
츠,
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 크,
크,
트,
트,
프,
트,
and h.
흐.
Go ahead and fill out the vowels this time.
3, 2, 1.
The vowels are E,
이,
A,
아,
야,
야,
어,
어,
여,
여,
으,
으,
오,
오,
요,
요,
우,
우,
유.
유.
CVC is what we learned 2 lessons ago. On the left, you'll see the regular CV form with another consonant on the bottom. An example is ang. On the right, there's the up-down CV form with another consonant on the bottom. ong.
And just so you know, ang and ong are actual words. They're just examples.
2 weeks ago, we learned these letters in the CVC form. They were combined with a, the CV part, and another consonant. The letters were a,
아,
an,
안,
at,
앗,
ar,
알,
am,
암,
up,
압,
at,
앗,
ang,
앙,
and up.
압.
Last week, we learned these letters in the CVC form. They were combined with na, CV, and another consonant. Nak,
낙,
nan,
난,
nat,
낫,
nar,
날,
nam,
남,
nap,
납,
nut,
낫,
nang,
낭,
nat,
낫,
nut,
낫,
nut,
낫,
na.
나.
So just a reminder that these gray areas are words or letters that are rarely used. And also the ones with purple in it, the letters, are used to signify that these pronunciations are similar. But of course, based on where these letters are used, the pronunciations may differ. And these are the new letters that we're going to learn today. They are ta, added with another consonant on the bottom. The letters are 탁,
닭,
탄,
단,
탓,
닷,
달,
달,
탐,
탐,
탑,
탑,
탓,
탓,
탕,
탕,
tat,
탓,
ta.
타.
Once again, these gray words are rarely used. We're also going to learn the la plus consonant letters today. They are la,
라,
lan,
란,
lat,
랏,
lar,
랄,
lam,
람,
lap,
랍,
lat,
랏,
lang,
랑,
lap,
랍,
and la.
라. Let's begin our next section, the Korean vocab. So here's what we learned last week. The first word we learned last week was 악마.
악마,
It means devil. 악보 means music sheet.
악보,
악어 means alligator or crocodile.
악어,
And just so you know, there's no separate word for this. And 안구 means eyeball.
안구,
남자 means male, man or boy, whatever you prefer.
남자,
And finally, 여자 means female, woman, or girl.
여자.
Later on, the words are going to be in more complicated forms, so be sure to get the hang of these words right now. So this is the first word we'll learn today. 달 means moon.
달. It's also one of the letters that we learned.
And 악당 means villain. Don't get confused with 악마, which is devil.
단.
Dan. Tan all means words, and if you think about it, you're learning the word word. That's kind of weird.
Also, you see it's 단어. Because this circle-shaped consonant is silent, we kind of pronounce it like 단어.
Yes, as in this is not all but no.
However, this is the accurate spelling.
Okay, 오락 means entertainment. For example, games. But don't think this is a video game. It can be just about any kind of entertainment.
오락.
And finally, 바람 means wind.
바람.
Let's see the conversation expression now. 3 lessons ago, we learned about these adjective particles. 이 and 가. 이 is used when the previous letter ends with a consonant, like the CVC form. And 가 is used when the previous letter ends in a vowel, like the CV forms. We also learned about the topic marking particles, 은 and 는. 은 is used when the previous letter ends in a consonant, like the CVC form, and 는 is used when the previous letter ends in a vowel, like the CV form.
Note that these particles are used to denote the topic of a sentence.
And 2 lessons ago, we learned about the object particles. They're attached after a noun, indicating that the preceding noun is the object of a verb. Subject particles indicate the subject of a sentence, and these object particles indicate the object of a sentence.
Last week, we learned 3 words. 누구 is who. 무엇, which is in the CVC form, is what. The second part of the word is in the CVC form, 엇. And finally, like is 좋아하다. With these 3 words, we formed a question. 너는 누구를 좋아해? Recall that the 는 after 너 is a topic marking particle. The 를 after 누구 is an object particle, and 좋아해 is like. In English, the 5 W's, who, what, where, when, or why, are placed at the beginning of a sentence. But this is not true in the Korean language. In Korean, the subject is placed in the beginning of a sentence, and the verb is placed at the end of a sentence. And 좋아해 here is the verb. The second question was 너는 무엇을 좋아해? 는 is highlighted in blue, and it's the topic marking particle for 너, which ends in a vowel. The second word used here is 무엇. 무엇 is in the CVC form, so we use 을, which is highlighted in red, because the previous letter ends in a consonant. Thus we use 을, the object particle. 좋아해 is the final word. Again, it's the verb of the sentence. In English, 너는 무엇을 좋아해 is what do you like. We also practice with the BTS members.
너는 누구를 좋아해?
나는 남준을 좋아해. Make sure to pause the video and try this yourself. You can pick any of the BTS members' names.
Or it could pick me.
Here's the second question. 너는 무엇을 좋아해?
나는 바나나를 좋아해.
Pause the video again and try this one yourself.
Also, you can't put a BTS member here because they're not a thing.
Yes, note that, because what is what. So you have to put something that's a thing, a what. In this case, we use banana, which is banana.
Okay, now we're going to learn about the Korean superstitions. In Korean, it's called 미신. Okay, number 1 is avoid number 4. This is a big one. If you go to Korea, in the elevator, they always have F written on it instead of the number 4 on the 4th floor. The word 4 in Korean is 사, which sounds a lot similar to death. Also in Chinese, 4 and death is pronounced similarly, and lots of Korean words are derived from Chinese. So if you go to Korea, All elevators will have F in the fourth floor.
Just most.
And no red names is also a very big one. If you go to Korea, they won't write their names in red pen. Why, you ask? Well, red is a color of blood, which is like death. And traditionally, people wrote names in red on tombstones, symbolizes that you have passed away. Also, this is a superstition. So even though my name is written here, I'm not dead. I mean, I'm talking right now, right?
Yes. So many Korean teachers, many Korean people, when they come to the U.S., they're very shocked that lots of teachers grade students' papers in red, even their names.
But anyway, this one isn't really a superstition, but Koreans know it. When a kid cuts their nails, usually they often just let it toss around because they're lazy. Now the adults have to clean it up, but they're lazy also. So they told the kids that if you put the nail clips anywhere, a mice will come and eat it. Now that sounds reasonable, but this part is where it's shocking. The mouse turns into a monster. Now that makes completely no sense, but kids are kids and I'm sure they won't take any chances.
Now we're going to see the American superstitions. It's bad luck to open an umbrella indoors. So this superstition says that bad luck will rain on you if you open an umbrella inside. And one of the origins that is known of this superstition is that umbrellas were once used as protection from the sun, and opening one was an insult to the sun god. But of course, this superstition is still good advice itself. Opening an umbrella inside might cause an injury. The second superstition is it's bad luck or good luck if a black cat crosses your path. And so in some cultures, black cats symbolize good luck. An example of this is in the early 7th century, in England, King Charles I's black cat died, and he lamented that his luck had worn out. Coincidentally, the very next day he was arrested and charged with high treason. So I'm not saying this is the only origin, this is just an example that kind of pushed the superstition forward. However, in other cultures, black cats symbolize bad luck. And during the Middle Ages, people thought that black cats were companions of witches. They were signs that the devil was watching you. Honestly, when I see a black cat, I kind of feel freaked out sometimes too. And the next superstition is the number 13 is bad luck. So, there's actually a phobia for this superstition. It's pronounced triskaidekaphobia. It's a very long word. And it's the fear of the number 13. And there's a day in America that's called Friday the 13th. And this is often when horror movies are released and when people often prank each other. Also, one of the origins of this superstition is Norse mythology. 12 gods were invited to dine at Valhalla, a hall in Asgard, the city of the gods. However, Loki, the god of evil, crashed the party and raised the number of attendees to 13. The other gods attempted to kick Loki out, but instead, Balder, the favorite among them, was killed. Another origin is the story of the Last Supper, in which a man named Judas joins as the 13 guests at a table. However, this supper is the hypothetical Jesus' Last Supper. And the last superstition is it's bad luck to pick up a penny that's tails up on the ground. If you see a penny tails up on the ground, most Americans often just leave it, or they flip it over and give it to their friend. But if it's heads up, they pick it up as their lucky penny and keep it.
Which doesn't make sense because it's not good. You shouldn't steal.
That's not stealing though.
But anyway, so this is all for today. And in next class, we'll keep working on the Korean phonics, including the CDC forms. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
안녕.
안녕.